News desk, end of day one here at the first ever Magic the Gathering Players Championship. Rich Hagon sitting alongside Marshall Sutcliffe. Been an epic day. We kind of knew it couldn't be anything else with 16 of the best players assembled to do battle.
Sure. I mean, coming into today, you know, the expectations were high and I feel like it met it. We started off with Cube. Incredible experience. We got a chance from the coverage angle to watch somebody draft, and this is something I haven't got to do yet. It was fantastic, and then we got to see the things that they did draft go right into play. Yeah,
and it was really nice. If you weren't with us, you can obviously watch all this back on twitch.tv. We're going to splice it all up for you in nice bite-sized chunks as well. But it was really nice to watch two Cube drafts because every draft is different and you never know whether you're going to get the player you choose. They're going to start off, it's a Louis Scott Vargas, they're going to go mono red, and it's kind of, yeah, okay, well, we kind of, you know, they're all red cards, we all know what they do. They burn your face and kill things and fine. But we saw two very interesting Cube drafts as it happened. We had Reed Duke, first of all, and then John Finkel. Reed, less successful in the end, he went 1 and 2 with his, and then John 2 and 1 with a blue-green deck that he was really quite happy with.
He was happy with, and he was also happy with his 2-1 result finishing up. But, I mean, I think that, you know, you only have 3 matches. It's kind of hard to tell how good a deck is after only 3 matches. You know, a few things can go wrong, or, you know, a few things can go right, and all of a sudden it'll skew it. But I think the cool part is that we saw all different types of decks. Yeah. We saw a big range of aggressive decks, control decks. We saw ramp decks. We saw, you know, reanimator decks, things that are trying to do kind of broken stuff. And I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, you were in the booth for those first 3 rounds. Yeah. It seemed to me, watching on my tiny monitor off screen here, that it was some of the most fun you'd ever had watching Magic. Never mind that you were commentating on it, just the Cube matches today were well worth checking out, even if you know who won, because they were just great games of Magic.
Oh, they were fantastic. And I have to say, it was a real treat to be in the booth and watching them. You know, I wasn't quite sure how it was going to go. I'm pretty familiar with the Cube. I've drafted that Cube a lot of times, so I felt pretty comfortable. I know Zach did too with the cards, but it's a lot of cards. And it's a lot of cards that I haven't, you know, drafted with outside of the Cube. I haven't played and constructed with outside of the Cube. But I have to say, getting a chance to see them all come together and to see, you know, the greatest minds in the game. I mean, these are 16 of the best players possible, and we got to see them see what they came up with, and it was a real treat.
Okay, so once we came out of Cube, of course, there were 2 3-0 players, as there must be, and then 6 2-1s, 6 1-2s, it was all pretty clean, and 2 0-3s. One of whom was Paulo Vitor Dama da Rosa of Brazil. Now, somebody awesome had to be 0-3.
Sure.
But to find that Paulo was down there, down among the dead men, as it were, was a shocker.
It was a shocker. I mean, he's considered the best player in the game. It's arguable. You know, it's not just like cut and dried Paulo, everybody else. But
not at all.
Goodness, like you can't really take anything away from him at that top level. And seeing him at 0-3 was shocking. I mean, I didn't get a chance to talk to him and ask him, you know, how much have you Cube drafted?
Lucky you.
I start to wonder. I kind of stay out of his way there. But I mean, just Paulo.
Yeah, shocker.
Yeah.
But everything changes. We left Cube aside. We moved to Modern. Paulo doesn't like losing.
No.
0-3, 1-3, 2-3, 3-3. And because of the structure of the formats and the way that the players are constantly sort of inbred against each other, it means that the field is so tight that 3-3, sure, half the tournament is gone. But you're okay at 3-3. Yeah. You've bought yourself a shot. Yeah. You come out tomorrow with M13, you go 3-0, suddenly you're 6-3, back with Modern, which he's 3-0'd now. Yeah. Don't write him off. 0-3, I can still see him in the top 4.
Absolutely.
But we then went into the Modern rounds, as we say. We saw a lot of different archetypes. We've started showing the deck text. They're all up on YouTube if you want to check them out overnight. But we'll be showing those through the coverage tomorrow as well. I guess the standout, purely in terms of interest, not necessarily speaking as to its quality in itself, is Shota Yasuoka.
Yeah.
Because he has this elegant weirdness, control, circular, eternal witness, ether vial, cryptic command, snapcaster mage.
When he shows up,
Vapor snag this, what?
When he shows up to a constructed format event, you never know what you're going to get. You always know it's going to be spicy, and it was. And he just seems to be successful with these things. I mean, he's pretty unique in the way that he can bring wholly original brews to these tournaments and still come out successful. A lot of people try. They'll hit one tournament, you know, they'll hit it just right, the meta game, everything lines up and they get it, and they 0-3 a bunch of them and you just kind of go, well, it didn't work out. You know, but this guy just seems to be able to come up with new stuff that people aren't doing and just have success. So.
You see, you can imagine a scenario where people are like going to Shota and like, you know, you're always on your own, and do you want some help, fella? And we could test together. and you sort of imagine him going, in Japanese clearly, why would I want to give away the best deck in the field?
Yeah, I think he just looks at him like...
I'm just fine sitting in my room at home with my notepad, thank you. And then I'll show you what the best deck is later. Yeah. How about on Thursday?
Yeah.
You know? I think he's a tremendous player, and as we've talked about, we talked in the preview, this is unlimited possibilities for him.
Right.
If he can get out of a limited with a successful record, he was one of the 3-0s. Field had better watch out. He paces the field at 5-1. Let's show you the big board and show you exactly where the 16 players lie overnight. We have the full standings. So here we are. They're on screen now for you to peruse. Marshall, what do you want to pick out? Pick out some storylines within that.
So what we just talked about was Shota Yasuoka. So, you know, not known for his limited prowess, he just recently top-8'd a limited GP, and now he went 3-0 as well. So he's definitely a story that I want to take a look at. Another one is Luis Scott Vargas. Now, fan favorite, everybody loves Luis. He had a bumpy start. Now, he's in a similar position to Paolo. He's at 3-3 now, and I think that he's somebody that you need to look out for. He also does not like he's a really nice guy, but he also hates losing as much as anybody else. So that's what I want to look at. Team Canada. Alexander Hayne. I mean, honestly, like if I was forced to rank these players, which I haven't been to do, I mean, Alexander would not be at the top, right?
He said, he came on here and he said, look, I got to be honest and say, as far as I can see, I'm arguably the worst player in the field.
I mean, and that's saying something because Alex is a very, very good player. Now, also, by virtue of the fact that he's just coming off of his rookie year, he just hasn't had the time to prove himself. He might be the best player in this room, and we just don't know it yet. He's looking to show us that. He's sitting already at 4-2, and he's making a statement against really this group of fantastic players.
I will be very interested in how he sees things psychologically, because 4-2 is a terrific result against this field. It's halfway to very possibly top 4. 8-4 may get there for some people. So potentially, he's got half the job done at halfway.
Yeah.
But he was 4-0. He was the last player to be defeated. So maybe he goes home and sobs into a pillow at 4-2 and like, I had my shot, I was pacing the field, now I'm back in the field. And when you look at who else is 4-2, you've got Ochoa 4-2, Nakamura 4-2, Finkel 4-2, User 4-2, alongside Alexander Hayne.
Right.
And you've got Shota Yasuoka 1 ahead of you. All of those 6 will be in Draft Pod 1 tomorrow, plus a couple of 3-3s. Who will it be? Scott Vargas and DeRosa, Turtenwald and Kibler, Ianaga, Scott Vargas. It's going to be crazy, crazy stuff. Still too soon to pick a winner. Feeling pretty good about my boy Yasuoka right now, got to be honest.
How's the Ocho? Ocho's 4-2. He's right in the thick of it. He's the guy.
We're doing fine. All right, listen, come back tomorrow, join us, live M13 draft. 3 rounds of M13, the best against the best. That's what we've had all week so far. Then 3 more rounds of Modern, and then the final 4 will come back on Friday. Thank you so much for being with us on the first day of the Players' Championship 2012. For Marshall Sutcliffe, I'm your host, Richard Hagan, saying bye.